Stress and anxiety are on the rise, and it's no surprise in an overstimulated, media-addicted, immediate gratification-demanding world, our brains are on overload and the demands on our time are relentless. For many of us, all that overthinking and mental chatter is wreaking havoc on our nervous systems. I believe that the secret to developing a greater sense of calm in your life is to manage your mind and body with good daily habits. So this is part 3 of a 4-part series where I talk about my go-to daily habits that help me manage my stress, my health, and my overthinking brain. Let's get started. Hey there, you are listening to the Overthinker's Guide to Joy. This is a podcast for overthinkers, overachievers, perfectionists, type A, stressed out, anxious people who just want to calm down and feel better. I'm your host, Certified Life Coach Jackie DeCrenis. Hey there, and welcome back. This is part 3 of my home series, the 4 essential daily habits that you need to reduce your stress and relax your mind to feel better and more productive. So hopefully you've heard the first 2 segments, the H and the O of the home series, Hydrate and Observe Your Levels, where I talked about the import of water, what we eat, and how we sleep as some of the fundamentals on your daily checklist. And today we're going to dive in to one of my favorite ones, meditation. So meditation's an interesting one. I find it incredibly polarizing for many of my clients. I have a handful of clients who come to me and they do actually have a daily meditation practice. And for the most part, most of them don't. And here's my favorite things that people say when I say, hey, would you be open to starting a daily meditation practice? This is what I get back. Oh, I tried it. I don't like it. Or, it doesn't work for me. No, I can't sit still. You know, I've tried it, but I just can't get comfortable. Here's a couple of my other favorites. I have no time. So meditators, longtime meditators, their response to I have no time is if you're too busy to meditate for 20 minutes, then you probably need an hour. I love that one. Okay, another one I hear all the time, I have no privacy. I have children, my dog barks, my husband's always home, whatever. Okay, you don't need privacy to meditate. You need a safe space, but you don't actually need privacy. We're going to get into that later. Some people will say to me, I'm just not into it. You know, I'm not religious in that way. Well, here's the good news. Meditation, although part of many religions, has absolutely nothing to do with religion. Meditation is a practice that is completely agnostic. It doesn't involve a higher power. It doesn't involve God. It doesn't involve a particular deity. It's just meditation. That's it. It's sitting still and being comfortable or learning to be comfortable in the practice of stillness. What's another one I love? Oh, I'm not good at it. Like there's a grading curve. Oh, they're a really good meditator. Oh, they're excellent at meditating. Oh, I'm just bad at it. I failed. There's no right or wrong way to meditate. That's actually the first rule of meditation. You get to meditate however you want. Now, are there some guidelines? 100%. Is there some tricks? Absolutely. But there's actually no right or wrong way. So you can't fail. Another one I hear a lot is, I get so anxious when I close my eyes. It actually makes my anxiety worse to close my eyes. That's a good sign you need to meditate. Another one is, people like me can't meditate. So do you know whose direct quote that is? Me. That's what I said for all the years that people told me, you should really learn to meditate. I was like, yeah, people like me can't meditate. So what did I mean by that? I meant people with overactive brains, people who overthink. Hello, welcome to this podcast. people who are anxious, people who are nervous, people who have too much to do, people who have big jobs, people who can't quiet their minds. Yeah, people like me can't meditate. Here's the truth. People like me need to meditate. People like you need to meditate. So the more you think people like me can't meditate, the more likely it is that you are the one who needs to meditate. Another one I get is, I don't have a meditation cushion. I don't have a comfortable chair. I always fall asleep when I meditate. People say to me, well, it's easy for you to meditate because you live in paradise. It's like one of my favorites. Because I live in Hawaii, I should be able to meditate, as opposed to New York City or Los Angeles, where I was born and raised, or anywhere in the world. That's a fallacy, that you need to live in some place that's quiet or rural or Zen, or other people meditate, and so therefore you can have permission to meditate. You don't need a waterfall, and you don't need to live in paradise to meditate. What do you need to meditate? Well, you need to give yourself permission to sit quietly for 5 minutes a day. Now, ideally, meditation is optimal at closer to 20 minutes a day. And if you're trained in transcendental meditation, which I was, that's 20 minutes a day with just a silent mantra in your head. 20 minutes a day, twice a day. That takes some skill and some teaching to work up to that. I'm not suggesting that everybody learn transcendental meditation, although I do think it's the granddaddy of all of them. There's lots of forms of meditation. There's guided meditation, there's yoga meditation, chakra meditation, qigong meditation, sound bath meditation. You can do meditation in a group. You can do meditation by yourself. You can do meditation in the morning. You can do it at night. You can do it before you go to sleep. You can do it in a closet at work. You can do it in the bathroom. It doesn't matter. The only real requirements of meditation is that you feel like you're in a safe place. So I know people who meditate on the beach and meditate in a park. I know people who meditate in their cars, but you don't even need the perfect surroundings. All you need is a chair or a bed or a sofa or a cushion or the ground or wherever you'll be comfortable. Meditation does not require a perfect container. It simply requires discipline and scheduling. And everybody has 5 minutes. If you have 5 minutes to scroll through social media, or you have 5 minutes to watch TV, or you have 5 minutes to play on your phone, or if you have 5 minutes to play a video game, or if you have 5 minutes to do anything, you have 5 minutes to meditate. And here's the thing. Meditation is the gift that keeps on giving. Because once you make it a habit, just like brushing your teeth, taking a shower, making your bed, any of those daily habits that make us feel good and organized and like we've accomplished something, meditation becomes that too. So here are some of the benefits of meditation. Meditation actually calms your mind down and it calms your body down. It has been scientifically proven that it can promote healing. It can aid in digestion. It can make you more creative. It actually creates a sense of time, a greater control over your schedule. Because by taking time to pause and let your mind rest, and I'm talking about something different than resting while watching Netflix or resting while reading a book, both fine, or resting while you're asleep. Meditation is conscious. Now, that's not to mean you guide the thoughts, but meditation is a conscious pause in your day so that you can either set an intention, whether that's healing, courage, or greater happiness, or calmness, by setting an intention and by sitting quietly, guided or otherwise, music or otherwise. Your body hears that message in a different way. It's like programming or reprogramming your mind and body to do what you want, instead of always being reactive to what you think you need or what you need to do for others. So my practice is I meditate every morning. Now, people ask me, do you meditate the second you roll out of bed? Or do you go get a cup of coffee or tea first? Do you take a shower first? Do you exercise first? What's your process? My process is I get out of bed, I brush my teeth, I go to the bathroom, I get my dog, I let him out to go to the bathroom. I feed him so he doesn't whine at me. And then we go meditate. And that's what I do every morning. Now, I have a barking dog. That can be an issue because it's hard to be zen and it's hard to be quiet and it's hard to get in deep if your dog loves to protect you from the birds that live outside, or the dog he hears a mile away, or the stray cat that might have ran by the window. And my dog has a bark kind of like a car alarm. So it sends a chill up your spine when he starts barking. And I could have made this a circumstance that prevented me from learning to have a meditation practice. I could have said, oh, can't meditate because I have a barking dog. And if I lock him out of my room, he'll cry. So that's no good. And if I let him sit with me, I don't know if nature is going to cause him to bark. Well, here's the thing. Learning to meditate through a barking dog is part of the practice of meditation. You can't always control the lawnmower, the leaf blower, the barking dog, the whining cat, but you can control your mind and how you react to it. So, my dog and I have this ritual where we sit on a chair together, like a chaise lounge, and he curls up in a blanket with me, and we meditate every day from anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes. Now, I have the Peloton bike, so I have the benefit of using their app, and on their app, they have amazing guided meditations. But I've also used Headspace, which is also an app, Insight Timer, the Calm app. I've Googled meditations, guided meditations on YouTube. I have my own guided meditations on a YouTube channel. You can find that by my name, Jackie DeCrenis. I've recorded guided meditations for my previous podcast, Joy Hunting, which you can find here on this podcast in some of my earlier episodes. It doesn't matter where you find your meditation or how you like to meditate. Just find one that speaks to you and start with 5 minutes. And if your dog barks, or your kids knock on the door, or your husband interrupts, or your roommate asks you, where's the coffee, or whatever's going on for you, it's okay. You can hold up your hand saying, just like I'm meditating. You could put a sign on your door saying I'm meditating. You can ignore them for the 5 minutes and finish meditating. But just practice. So I had a meditation teacher, a transcendental meditation teacher, and one of her clients was a roadie for rock concerts. He did major rock concerts. And he worked very long hours. He was always around 1 million people. He moved heavy equipment. He got very little sleep, and he needed to learn to meditate. And what he was able to do was in the middle of the concert, as long as he wasn't on call, right, moving speakers and tightening microphones and plugging in amps and all the things that roadies do, he was free for the length of the concert. So he would sometimes go backstage or even under the stage, and with the music blaring and with the crowd screaming, he was still able to meditate 20 minutes at a time. So that really stuck with me when my teacher taught me that. And when my dog is barking, or when the cat is crying, or when the leaf blower is going, I always picture that roadie doing his job, getting his break during the concert, and sitting under that stage, listening to blaring rock and roll, and still finding 20 minutes to close his eyes and go inwards to get his meditation. And if he could do that, I could certainly meditate during my little 11-pound dog barking. So here's the thing. I really believe meditation is the secret sauce, kind of the final frontier. And I say this because, as you know, if you've listened to any of my prior episodes, you know that I used to live a very big, very noisy, very stressful life. I had a corporate job, I had 3 children, and a husband, and a home, and a dog, and a cat, and a hamster, and all the things that required pulling me in a million directions. And I worked a long day, and I worked every night, and I worked 6 days a week, and I felt like I never could catch my breath. I was always serving other people. I always had so many demands on my time. And it was actually a colleague of mine who was going through a rough patch who found transcendental meditation and said, "You got to do it." And I was like, "I don't need it. I don't have time." All the things I listed at the beginning of this podcast. And I noticed a really profound change in him. And he wasn't like woo-woo zen. He's like a guy who follows the stock market 24/7. He's a corporate cog. He's brilliant. He's very matter of fact. There's nothing woo about him. He's not lighting candles. He's not religious. He's not any of these things. He doesn't believe in like chakra realignment. By the way, I love most of those things. He was a straight shooter and buttoned down all the way. And he found meditation, and I saw the transformation. I saw the way he processed his own aggravation and his own frustration and his overworked schedule, because we were all in the same business. We all worked for the same company. And I was like, oh, there is something to that. So when I moved back to Hawaii and retired from my job in Hollywood, sorry, long story short, but I lived in Hawaii, I telecommuted, then I moved back to LA, and then I retired from television and came back to Hawaii. So I'm living in Hawaii. I've got on paper this life in paradise. I no longer have my big corporate job. 2 of my kids were full grown. I was only raising the one. My husband and I live in a lovely home, and all was great. And my mind was racing again. I was a victim of my own overthinking. And this goes back to no matter where you go, there you are, right? Or like I like to say, I came with me to paradise and ruined it. So I technically had unplugged from virtually all of my circumstances that were creating incredible stress, mind and body. And I was still overthinking. And I was still feeling anxiety. And I was still feeling stressed. And I was like, oh, I need to learn to meditate. And that's when I hired my transcendental meditation coach and learned how to properly meditate. And then after 3 years of that, I found guided meditations and I fell in love with those and just simply changed my practice, not my commitment, but my practice to daily guided meditations. And I loved them, which is what inspired me to record my own. And I do them every single day. A minimum of once a day, sometimes twice a day, and sometimes 5 minutes, and sometimes 10 minutes, and sometimes 20 minutes. But I will tell you that not only have I had extraordinary benefit from it, and not only have I written so much about it in my blogs and on Instagram and in my newsletters, I have seen a difference in the way I'm able to process stress. I'm able to break through a creative block. I'm able to find courage when I'm scared to do something new, or when I'm at an impasse in my new career or in my family. And by sitting and meditating and just being okay with the stillness, magical things happen. So I believe that meditation, daily meditation, is one of the 4 essentials to basic self-care. And like I said, I won't be prescriptive about it. I'm not telling you have to do a certain type or a certain length. I don't think one is right or wrong or better. And I'm not telling you have to be perfect at it. I'm saying find your person, find your voice, find your guru, find your app, find your YouTube, find the thing that speaks to you, that motivates you and makes you feel safe to simply close your eyes for 5 minutes and give yourself the opportunity to reframe your day, to set an intention, to change your outlook on something, or even to heal your body. So I cannot stress enough how much I love meditation for overthinkers. This is a key to turning down the volume on the overthinking brain. It's going to be hard at first. Your mind is going to want to play tricks on you. When we close our eyes, it's an invitation for our minds to race. It's okay. Let it happen and return back to your breath. Just breathe. So here's a little mini taste of it. If you're not driving a car, you're not walking, take a moment, close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Another deep breath in and exhale. Last time, deep breath in, exhale. Now gently blink your eyes open. You've just meditated. That's it. It's just that over and over and over again. Nice and relaxed. Always come back to the breath. Let the thoughts come up as they do. Let them float away. If you would like to listen to my meditations, like I said, they're here on my podcast on earlier episodes when it was called Joy Hunting. You can also find them on YouTube at Jackie DeCrenis. Or just find your own. Find the one that speaks to you. Schedule your meditation 5 minutes every morning or every evening, whatever works for you. And then leave me a comment or reach out to me through my website and let me know how you did. It's an amazing resource and it costs absolutely nothing, and you can do it every day, anywhere, almost at any time. And I promise you, it will be the beginning of learning to wrangle that overthinker's brain. So join me next week. We're going to do the last part of this 4-part series. It's the E in home. So just to recap, H is hydrate, O is observe your levels, which is good eating, good sleeping, M is meditate, and E is for exercise. We're going to talk about all things exercise and how, just like meditation, it's just a matter of scheduling it and finding what works for you. So come join me next week to learn the last 4 of my daily basic habits for self-care. I can't wait to share it with you. Have a great week. Start meditating and let me know how it goes. All right, bye for now. If you want to learn more tips about managing your stress and how to manage your overthinking brain, just go to my website and sign up for my weekly newsletter at JackieDeCrenis.com. That's JackieDeCrenis.com. You can also follow me on Instagram at Jackie DeCrenis. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to this episode of Overthinker's Guide to Joy. If you like what was offered in today's episode, I would love you to leave a review and subscribe or follow wherever you get your podcasts.